Good morning, everybody. You tuned in once again to Crackcore. Now then, what are we going to be getting into today? What is the subject of today, man? Well, you might well ask. Today, we are going to be talking about the path of truth. Oh yes, it's another meaty subject to get our teeth into today. The truthy path. Now then, I mean, how many times do you make decisions for yourself, alright? And do you have other people say that you're being selfish, alright? That's the key point. So, but before we get into it, we nearly forgot there. It's tip of the day. Right, so, tip of the day. Now then, it's another eating tip. If you if you drink a glass of water, say half a pint or so, before eating and after eating, okay, so that's half a pint before and about half a pint afterwards, you will notice that your food digests very, very easily, okay? And trust me, you can thank me later. You probably will. Right then, that was an easy one. Tip of the day done. So, the path of truth. Here we go. This is how we get down in the mornings, man. We're talking about truth vibes. But as I was saying, how many times a day do you make a decision, okay? Or do you attempt to make a decision? And then you get somebody else put their little bit in there, you know, their opinion. And you change your mind based on the way other people perceive your decisions, okay? And then what happens is you start making decisions not by the direct influence of other people's opinions, but by what you think their opinion might be, all right? We've all done it. You know, we're all guilty. We're all guilty of robbing ourselves of happiness for the betterment of other people now, aren't we? Okay? And that's ultimately what you're doing. All right? So, I mean, what is it? Okay, what is the path of truth? Well, the path of truth is quite simply being honest with yourself, okay? And asking yourself, what is it that you want, not only from each individual decision that you make, but, okay, what you want from your life on an overall basis. Because I mentioned being truthful with yourself. Now, it's just you in there. You know, it's you in here, all right? In your body, it's you. And you are living your life, all right? It's important to remember that. It's important to stay present and in the moment, okay? And by that I mean, don't allow all these other things in life, perceptions, worries over perceptions, and all these things to get in the way of your moment, which is every single second of the day. Now, what you need to do is interact with yourself, okay? Have a relationship with yourself. Now, that may sound a little bit weird at first, but ultimately it means getting to know yourself, okay? Because you do need to interact with yourself and find out who you are. Be kind to yourself, okay? Ask yourself questions. And what I mean by that is the self is what's in here, man, you know? You can feel what's right. Trust your gut and trust your emotions and how you feel on a certain situation, okay? Interact with yourself. It's simple, right? Well, you'd think so. As he spits everywhere, you'd think so. But for some people, it seems it's not that simple at all. A lot of people are miserable, living their lives miserable, right? And they're resentful and they're pissed off at everybody else, when ultimately, yes, other people are commanding their life choices, but it's down to the individual, okay, that's ultimately making those decisions, okay, because they're too afraid to upset anyone. You know, everything starts within here. Everything starts with the self, man. All right. So let's just look at a couple of points. In fact, I think one point will be enough today. Let's just say you go out with a friend shopping, all right, and I don't know, you're shopping for a pair of shoes, a pair of trainers perhaps, okay? You try a couple of pairs on and you come across, you know, a pair of Nike trainers that you like. You put them on, they're really comfortable, okay? Everything about them is just what you need. Now you say to your friend, these are perfect. I've tried all these different trainers on and these are the ones. And your friend says, I wouldn't buy Nike. I prefer Adidas. Now what do? You know these are the ones. But do you then turn around and say, okay, well, I'll try another pair of Adidas on then? Do you? I mean, do you? Because if you do, all right, then you've got problems, all right? Because what you should do at that point is say, well, well, in my opinion, what you should do at that point is say, well, no, these are the ones. I've tried Adidas on. They don't really fit my foot shape, okay? And they're not for me. They might be for you, but, these Nikes are for me. If, okay, you do say that at that point, and they say, well, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Believe you me, a lot of people are like that. And remember, this is just an analogy here. This is just an example. A lot of people are like that. So what do you do then? In order to keep this friend, okay, would you go ahead and buy a pair of Adidas that, number one, don't feel right on your feet? You've already tried them on. You know they're not for you. You know, the support, of the soles of the arch in the shoe, it's not right for your foot. But do you, to keep your friend, buy the pair of Adidas that, don't get me wrong, you might be able to walk around in and get on with it. You know, they might not be excruciating when you walk around, but they're not perfect, are they? It wasn't the exact right decision for you, but let's just say you go ahead and do that, but you've kept your friend, okay? All the time you're thinking to yourself, every single time you walk around, you're thinking to yourself, I should have bought the Nike. But I've got a friend though, you know? I've got a friend who doesn't give a shit about my comfort, okay? And just wants me to be like them. At the expense, okay, of my comfort and the health of my feet. All right? Now, these are the people, and a lot of people don't realise they're doing it. You know? Judge not, for they know not what they do. I think that's the way it says it in the Bible. Again, I'm not necessarily a religious individual, but, J-Bone, Mr. Jesus, he had some shit to say though, didn't he? I mean, fucking hell. But anyway, getting back on point, this geezer, your friend, is willing to have you walk around uncomfortable, okay, for the fact that they'd rather you own a pair of Adidas. Now, in life, okay, these things happen on a daily basis. Okay, let's just say, for instance, you continue with the Nike. Your friend might say, well, you're selfish, because you don't care about how I feel about your trainers. I mean, trust me. There are people like this out there, and trust me, remember, it's just an example. In many different situations in life, okay, there are these occurrences that happen where people will say, I want you to make a decision based on how I want it to happen, okay, because I want you to consider my feelings. And if you don't consider my feelings, well, you're selfish. But how wrong is that? I mean, let's just look at it. This is a person then who doesn't care about how you feel. Where's the sense in that? So you'd be trying to keep hold of a friend who doesn't care how you feel or what your comfort is like. Now, people throw the word selfish around, don't they? But ultimately, they do say this as well, don't they? The elusive they. They say that people project outwards onto other people what comes from within. Now, that is a very, 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 very true point, okay? And that is something that proves what it is I'm about to say. Or what it is that I have been prattling on about. Because when somebody's calling you selfish for looking after yourself, ultimately what they want is for you to do things their way. Is that not selfish? Putting your health, putting your comfort, okay, to one side for the sake that they want you to do it their way. Is that not being selfish? You see, it comes down to this. Perception, okay? A person will perceive a situation based on how they are polarized, about what their viewpoint is. If somebody is negative, they see things through a negative perspective constantly. So even positive things like looking after yourself at this point is seen as negative by this individual, okay? Simply because their negativity, and in this case in point, their selfishness is coming into play, and they don't want you, okay, to be happy ultimately and comfortable, all right? So people will do things that project outwards what is within them. All right, it's very, very true. How is it, right? I mean, this proves it. Why then? I mean, how is it not selfish for somebody to say that you're being selfish for looking after yourself? I mean, wow. Because it's not, is it? Let's just look at it the other way. If a person isn't selfish, okay, and you're looking after yourself, they're going to go, yeah, that's the best decision for you. I think you ought to go ahead and do that because it's going to make you happy. You know, that's not being selfish, is it? At all. They are happy that you want to make yourself happy, regardless of how it affects them. Okay, this is the point. Because if everybody just gave up this selfish mentality, the whole world would fucking leap forward. Okay, in every single way. Because it's about being happy for other people, regardless of how those decisions affect you. Because ultimately, it comes down to people having to benefit themselves. They have to elevate themselves. It doesn't matter about anybody else in life. Okay? And anybody that says otherwise is fucking selfish. All right? Live and let live. Here's another one. Did Jesus say that one as well? Oh. So, just going back to what I said before about projecting outwards what is within, okay? And this is my final point.
Perfect.
So, projecting outwards what is within you, okay? These people, these negative Nellies, they'll go around and they will... But the funny thing is, with what they do, they actually can empower you if you've got the sense of mind to notice it. People will try and drag you down, right? They'll try and drag you down an awful lot of the time. But in this position of dragging someone down, where do they need to be, okay, in reference to where you are? Well, to drag somebody down, you're doing this, aren't you? Which means they are already below you and you are above them, okay? So, in this sense, they are showing you that subconsciously they already see you as being above them, okay? Which is why they try and drag you down. Let that sink in. So by their very actions, they are proving to you that you are better than them, that you are above them. Whether this means psychologically, whether this means vibrationally, or whether this just means in a status perspective within society. But they're trying to drag you down nonetheless. Drag you down, okay? So they're already below you. It's like somebody hanging on your feet, okay, in the ocean. They're drowning and they want you to come down with them. You're already on the surface, you know, you're keeping your head above water, but they want you down there with them, okay? Selfish, isn't it? Is it not? For instance, if people see you as if people are constantly trying to challenge you, then that means you're already better than them. Because is it a challenge when somebody isn't better than you? When somebody is equal to you, is it a challenge? No. Let's just say you've been playing the same level on Sonic the Hedgehog, all right, for a number of years, and that particular level is now really easy. You know everything, okay? You know where all the little extra lives are, you know where all the rings are, you know, you want to collect all the special stuff, all the enemies coming at the same time, you know exactly what to do, you can do it with your eyes closed. Is it now a challenge? At this point, is it a challenge? No, is the short answer to that one. So when something's something's easy, something is just, you know, either you are equal to its difficulty or better than it, it's no longer a challenge to you, so you therefore do not challenge it. You get bored and you leave it. Okay, you think, well, fuck this level. Okay, so ultimately, when you are always being challenged by other people, it means that they see you as being a challenge in the first place, which means, okay, that you are better than them. You are of a higher standard than them. So subconsciously, once again, they are admitting to you that they see themselves as being below you. Therefore, why the hell are you even bothered? You know, the best thing to do at that point is just carry on about your business on a daily basis, all right? And let these people carry on. Because by giving it attention, you're giving them the opportunity to either drag you down, okay, or beat you in this challenge. You're bringing yourself down to their level, okay? People will always tell you how they perceive you through their own actions towards you, but it's always hidden in this mysterious ball, okay? This mysterious ball of trying to make you feel like shit and trying to make you feel like it's your fault. But really, it's them all along. You know? What a crazy old world we live in. You know, what a crazy world. I mean, it's absolutely mad, isn't it? I hope that you can see now, all right, that there's a lot of selfish individuals out there that want to take from you. And they are willing to make you feel as though you're the bad guy, okay? They're willing to make you feel like you're below them, project their negativity on you, okay, so that they can excel at your expense. Tell me I'm wrong, you know? Right. So, I had another point I was going to make, but it's gone now, okay? So I'm going to leave it there. Final point made, and I'm hoping that it's going to come back in real quick so I can spit it out. But no, I don't think it's gonna. If it does, I may add it on after this as an addendum. So if you're watching this video now and it's still got 3 or 4 minutes left, it's because I remembered, okay, after I pressed stop. But for now, this is Crag Course signing off. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please continue to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. All the new subscribers I've had just lately, thank you very, very much to you guys. You make it all worthwhile. It makes me realise that I'm actually doing something that is worthwhile and people want to watch, okay? And I'm very, very happy with that. All right, so thank you very much. You do make all the difference, okay? I'm gonna have to sign off here and say love and peace to all things everywhere. And remember, don't be fucking selfish. Peace. Okay, so here we are. I remembered. It's about 3 minutes later now, all right? And I've remembered the point I was going to make. So this is the addendum, all right? And it's very important, as a matter of fact, okay? Just think, okay? You're now living the path of truth. You are living it for you, all right? You're making your decisions what for you that are going to benefit your life. Remember this. You are a light, okay? At this point, you have become a light in the world. And what do lights do? Well, they shine their light everywhere, okay? Like the sun, the light emits, okay, and radiates outward. But what does it create? It creates a shadow, okay? Now, these people, these negative folks, all right, they would rather live in darkness, okay? Because their shadows, they don't want to have to confront them, okay? So they don't want you around, because what you do is you shine a light and highlight, okay, their shortcomings. And this is why they want you to feel bad. This is why they would rather make you feel like shit. So you either go away or your light, you know, ultimately becomes dimmer and dimmer to the point where you no longer shine. All right? They don't want to have to turn around and see their shadows and face them. They would rather live in darkness and ignorance, okay, without having to face any of that. Okay? And this is the final point, okay? Because why on earth are you going to allow somebody to turn off your light? You are an amazing person, okay? You are a light shining in the universe, okay? And just because you are illuminating other people's shortcomings and downfalls doesn't make you a bad person, okay? People don't want to self-develop. People don't want to have to look at themselves and make themselves better people, because that means work, it means effort. But by you being a good person around these people shows them where they're going wrong. So this is what I'm saying. Be the light, okay? Be the light you want to see in the world. When you are making the decision to be a positive individual, when you are making the decision, okay, to do what is right and to be the light, you start moving in another direction, okay? The path you're on is now the path of truth. And what happens then is, because you're now moving in the opposite direction to all of this negativity, you're going to come head on with it. It's going to hit you face to face. Don't get me wrong. The path of truth isn't easy. Being the light in the world isn't easy, because the world is dark, okay? And you are now the light, and everything's going to try and come and turn you off. And it's as simple as that. They don't want you around because they don't want to look at themselves. But continue, okay? Continue. The strength is within you, all right? Just think, if you keep coming head on with negativity constantly, you're moving in the opposite direction to it, which is the right direction. The only time it stops is when you turn around and start moving in the same direction. So it's a good thing, okay? Remember to stay strong and be the light. And this is Crack Course signing off. One love.